I've had conversations with people about it, and it's like, Jesus, like just trying to get the documents, like when they're trying to get the Epstein files, like the state of New York, one of the district attorneys was they were hiding documents. They had to force them to give documents.
Joe Rogan has spent years talking about the strange world of elite celebrity circles. But every once in a while, a conversation comes along that completely changes how people look at Hollywood, politics, and power. And for a lot of people, that moment happened when the discussion around Jeffrey Epstein shifted toward one woman who seemed connected to almost everyone, Ghislaine Maxwell. Suddenly, the internet wasn't just asking what happened behind closed doors. People started asking who knew her, who spent time around her, and how deep those relationships really went.
So if people wind up going to trial over this and people wind up getting indicted over this, that could get more interesting, because then you remove it from Minnesota and then it becomes this federal court thing. And so then it becomes mainstream public news if they do this correctly, but if there is something there.
But the thing is, you have to worry about if the judge is going to be complicit and if the prosecutor is going to be complicit, and the media is also. You got to kind of fly that arrow through 3 hoops to hit that bullseye.
You got to go through the bushes and you got a small hole to shoot through. Yeah.
And then to try to make it and then it'd be very easy for Newsom to be like, I'm so glad this got exposed.
Right.
I promise you, as president, this won't happen in America. And if you want to talk corruption, look at Trump and all his sweetheart deals, blah, 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 blah. Hillary's already throwing him under the bus about Epstein. They don't have shame. Did you not see that?
Saying?
Hillary's like, Trump's in the files thousands of times. Like, let's have this conversation. She started already.
Right.
Where's the videos? They were telling us the videos are going to come out, incredibly high-profile people doing horrendous things. People are going to go to jail. Where?
Right.
Nothing. What did they do? The director of the FBI on this show, nothing you're looking for is on those tapes. Like, what? Why did they say there was thousands of hours of tapes of people doing horrible shit? Why did they say that?
And once Joe Rogan started openly questioning those connections on his podcast, the entire conversation exploded overnight. Because this wasn't some random rumor floating around social media anymore. These were real public photos, real parties, real events, and real relationships involving some of the biggest names in the world. Actors, billionaires, politicians, royal figures, business moguls. Maxwell somehow moved through all of those worlds like she belonged there. And honestly, that's the part that still shocks people the most. How does someone later convicted in federal court for helping facilitate Epstein's crimes manage to become so accepted in elite circles for so many years without raising more questions earlier? That's where Rogan's commentary started hitting differently, because instead of just focusing on the headlines, he kept pointing at the bigger picture, the system itself, the culture around wealth and influence, the way powerful people protect each other.
The Epstein stuff is so crazy, because when Kash Patel was on here and he was like, there's nothing. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what to say. My thought was, and people are like, why didn't you push back more? My thought was like, I'm just going to put this out there and let the internet do its work. The guy's saying there's no tapes, there's no video. That doesn't make any sense. And then he's like, well, we have a film, we're going to release that film. And the film has a fucking minute missing from it. It's so convenient that the guards were asleep. So convenient that the cameras didn't work. So convenient that years later, you have a recording of the outside of the cell, but a minute is missing from it.
3 minutes.
Yeah. 3 minutes?
Yeah, they found out it was like almost 3 minutes. Yeah.
That's plenty of time to kill somebody. 3 minutes is more than enough time.
Oh, 3 minutes, you could get a whole bunch of people killed by then. Yeah.
This is in 2009. So Epstein was saying that. Where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture video.
Jeez.
I am in China. I'll be in the U.S. second week of May. What the fuck, man? And why is his name redacted? Why would your name be redacted if you're not a victim? Like, this is what's crazy about all this. Like, how come you redact some people and you don't redact other people? Like, what is this? This is not good. None of this is good for this administration. It looks fucking terrible. It looks terrible. It looks terrible for Trump when he was saying that none of this was real. This is all a hoax. This is not a hoax. Like, did you not know? Maybe he didn't know, if you want to be charitable. But this is definitely not a hoax. And if you've got redacted people's names and these people aren't victims, you're not protecting the victim. So what are you doing?
Right.
And how come all this shit is not released? According to investigations, at least 15 students were lured into Epstein's Palm Beach home. Holy shit.
That's so crazy.
Now
That's in
imagine if
2005.
Imagine if those girls didn't get in that fight. Imagine if that didn't
Wow.
happen.
Yeah.
It's dark.
It's dark.
Yeah, but if
I mean, look at
According to the
some
FBI
people that
today,
are in the...
There was nothing going on, so.
oh, FBI concluded Jeffrey Epstein wasn't running a sex trafficking ring for powerful men. File show.
So there you go.
Oh, there you go. Who says that?
And suddenly, people weren't just talking about Epstein anymore. They were talking about an entire network of connections that looked almost impossible to ignore. But here's where things become dangerous too, because once the internet gets involved, the line between confirmed facts and speculation disappears fast. And Rogan himself has talked many times about how quickly people online jump from connected to guilty. Those are not the same thing. They never were. But in today's world, one viral photo can completely destroy someone's reputation overnight, even when there's no proof of wrongdoing attached to it. Still, the public curiosity never stopped, because people kept seeing the same thing over and over again. Famous faces appearing next to Maxwell at events, smiling in photos, sitting together at parties, traveling in the same circles. And every new image that resurfaced added fuel to a fire that was already burning out of control. What made this even more intense was the fact that Maxwell herself wasn't just some random socialite. She came from wealth, influence, and connections long before Epstein entered the picture. Her father, Robert Maxwell, was already surrounded by controversy for years before his death. Some people viewed him as brilliant, others viewed him as dangerous. But either way, Ghislaine grew up around power. She understood how elite networks worked. She knew how to navigate rooms filled with billionaires and world leaders. And according to many people who encountered her socially, she had a way of making herself seem trustworthy almost instantly.
Continues to press for clemency in exchange for her testimony, something President Trump has continually declined to rule out. How does this all make you feel?
It's honestly very disturbing to see these images of her and have her be looked at as someone who could potentially be providing any kind of information in this case. I mean, she has refused over and over to cooperate with the investigation. She's refused to have, she doesn't have any empathy or has not expressed any empathy or remorse to her victims. So I think it's highly problematic that anyone would consider negotiating with a serious criminal like this.
Just don't understand how anybody can go to jail for sex trafficking when you don't have anybody they sex traffic to.
Right.
Like, that don't make any sense. Like, if I was Ghislaine's lawyer, I'd be like, to who? To who? Like, how did he not do that? Like, you want to tell me there's some sort of a compromised trial? How do you not have a lawyer that goes, who did she sex traffic to?
Right. There's some sort of backdoor deal that was like, hey, spend this time in jail and we won't kill you.
Or also, she's working with them.
Right.
Like, especially that kind of a crime, where there's a person that hires you or gives you money or that you use to get influence from, and then you sex traffic to them. So there's another person involved. And that other person is completely eliminated from the trial because what? Because they're billionaires? Because they're heads of state?
Powerful enough.
Prominent scientists?
Mm-hmm.
What is going... Like, how is that okay? That doesn't even make sense that you could get through a whole trial like that.
That charm became one of the most disturbing parts of the entire story later on, because prosecutors argued that Maxwell helped recruit and manipulate vulnerable young girls for Epstein. And when the trial finally happened, the public saw something that completely shifted the narrative. This was no longer just about Epstein acting alone behind the scenes. The court outcome confirmed Maxwell played a major role in helping facilitate what happened. That changed everything. And once that conviction happened, the public started revisiting every old connection tied to her name. Every celebrity photo suddenly carried new weight. Every appearance at a gala became part of a much bigger conversation. And Joe Rogan kept returning to one uncomfortable question over and over again. How did nobody notice what was happening for so long? Because according to Rogan, elite social environments operate differently than normal life. Once you reach a certain level of fame or money, your world becomes incredibly small. The same people appear at the same events constantly. Billionaires mix with actors, politicians sit beside musicians, tech CEOs party with royalty, and eventually people stop questioning who's in the room because everyone assumes someone else already vetted them. That's part of what made the Maxwell story so terrifying to people. She didn't hide in dark corners away from public attention. She operated openly around some of the most influential individuals on Earth. And when Rogan started discussing that openly, audiences became obsessed with trying to map out every celebrity connection they could find. Suddenly, old photos began resurfacing everywhere online. Maxwell standing beside powerful politicians, Maxwell attending celebrity parties, Maxwell appearing near world-famous businessmen. And the internet immediately started treating every image like evidence of something sinister. But Rogan repeatedly pointed out the same thing. Being photographed with someone does not automatically prove involvement in crimes. That distinction matters a lot. But what nobody expected was how quickly public trust in celebrity culture itself would begin collapsing after this story gained momentum, because people started realizing just how interconnected elite circles really are. The average person doesn't attend events where billionaires, royalty, movie stars, and political leaders casually socialize together. But for the ultra-powerful, that world is completely normal. And honestly, that realization disturbed a lot of people more than anything else, because it forced the public to ask uncomfortable questions about accountability. If someone like Maxwell could move through those spaces for decades without major scrutiny, what else happens behind closed doors that ordinary people never hear about?
This is the current website to get into the Epstein files.
You're now in line.
I'm in the queue.
Oh, wow.
What?
Your estimated wait time is 1 minute. Oh, is it moving? Oh, less than a minute.
Wait, we're going to get into the
I don't
Epstein
know.
files?
Look, we're about to get in.
This is like, they just put them out like an hour ago.
96%. We're getting less than a minute. We're at 96% getting into the Epstein files.
What do you think's gonna pop up first?
Oh, it's your turn.
Holy shit.
Oh, we're going to see some shit. You are now being redirected to the website.
Nothing
Bro,
happened.
immediately a virus gets uploaded to your
nothing
computer.
happened.
They get a
Wait to see what happened
FaceTime
here.
video of every kickoff session you're going to have for the now to the rest of your life.
Sets of emails. This is from Catherine Rumler, who worked as Barack Obama's White House counsel, Democratic administration, White House counsel, lawyer representing the American presidency. Now, in the way that is normal in American life, she's the chief lawyer for Goldman Sachs.
Yeah. Wow.
And they're trading advice. She's getting his advice on, should I become attorney general? She's taking the advice of a convicted sex offender on should I accept Barack Obama's potential offer to be attorney general. And he's telling her, she's giving him advice about his situations in life. And in this very striking scene, she describes driving up to New York, and she says, I will stop at a rest stop at some point in New Jersey on my way up to New York, and I will see, no doubt, all these people who are 100 pounds overweight, and I will be shocked by it, and I will be moved to never eat another morsel of food in my life so that I never become like them. I just want to say to people watching this is what people in that class think about you. You don't normally get a glimpse. You see them on TV. You see them on their curated social media that someone else is doing for them. These emails are a glimpse of how people in this Epstein class feel about you. They feel you're a slob at a rest stop that they unfortunately have to stop at to get gas.
Rogan has often described Hollywood and elite culture as environments where image matters more than reality. According to him, people become so obsessed with status and networking that they stop paying attention to warning signs. Everybody wants access, everybody wants invitations, everybody wants proximity to power, and sometimes that creates an atmosphere where dangerous individuals can blend in almost perfectly. That idea became even harder to ignore once more reports surfaced about Epstein's connections over the years. Flights, mansion visits, social events, business meetings, public appearances. The amount of overlap between Maxwell, Epstein, and high-profile individuals became impossible for the internet to stop talking about. And then came the viral breakdowns. YouTubers, podcasters, bloggers, and influencers all started trying to connect the dots. Some focused on documented relationships. Others went much further into pure speculation. And that's where Rogan's perspective became especially important to many listeners, because while he openly questioned how these networks operated, he also warned people against treating assumptions like proven facts. That balance is important because cases like this can spiral into chaos fast. Once someone's name becomes attached to a scandal online, public opinion usually decides guilt long before any actual evidence appears. Rogan has talked before about how modern internet culture rewards outrage more than accuracy. The louder the accusation, the faster it spreads. And honestly, you could see that happening in real time. Certain celebrities found themselves dragged into conversations simply because an old photo resurfaced. Others faced endless speculation because they attended the same events years earlier. The internet turned into a giant investigation board overnight, with millions of people trying to decode every connection themselves. But the twist nobody really talks about enough, the obsession with celebrity names sometimes overshadowed the actual victims involved in the case. That's something many critics pointed out repeatedly. The focus became so centered on famous associations that people sometimes forgot the crimes themselves were the real issue. And that's where Rogan's commentary became more complicated than people expected. Because yes, he questioned elite networks. Yes, he criticized powerful circles, but he also repeatedly emphasized the importance of evidence, not assumptions, not internet theories, not edited clips designed to go viral, actual proof. Still, the public fascination never slowed down because people kept asking the same haunting question. If Maxwell had access to all these influential people, who truly knew what was happening behind the scenes? That question continues following this case everywhere. And honestly, it probably always will, because even now, years later, the Epstein-Maxwell story still represents something bigger to the public than just one criminal case. For many people, it became symbolic of a deeper fear about how wealth and power operate behind closed doors. The idea that entire systems might exist where accountability disappears once enough influence is involved. That fear hit especially hard when Maxwell herself was sentenced, because suddenly the reality of everything became undeniable. This wasn't internet gossip anymore. This wasn't a conspiracy theory. A federal conviction confirmed serious crimes happened. And once that happened, people naturally started looking backward at every connection surrounding her life. Joe Rogan's audience especially became fascinated by this because his show often explores distrust in institutions, media narratives, and elite culture. So when he discussed Maxwell, people interpreted it as validation of concerns they already had about the powerful protecting each other. But at the same time, Rogan also warned against turning every rumor into fact. That part often gets ignored online because outrage spreads faster than nuance. People prefer simple villains and dramatic conclusions. The internet rarely rewards patience or careful thinking. And that creates a dangerous environment where speculation can easily overpower reality. Still, emotionally, the impact of this entire story has been massive. Careers were questioned, public images changed forever. Trust in celebrity culture took a serious hit. Fans who once admired certain public figures suddenly started viewing everything differently. Even innocent associations became enough to create suspicion in people's minds. That kind of damage doesn't disappear quickly. For some celebrities, the mere appearance of their names near Maxwell in online discussions became a permanent stain, regardless of whether wrongdoing was ever proven. That's the brutal reality of viral culture now. Once your image becomes attached to controversy, the internet never fully lets it go. And honestly, that fear probably terrifies a lot of people in elite circles today. Because the Maxwell case exposed how connected the world of fame and power really is. It showed that the ultra-rich often exist inside a completely different social universe than ordinary people. One where private islands, exclusive parties, billionaire gatherings, and political networking all overlapped constantly. That realization changed public perception forever. People started questioning not just individuals, but entire systems. Media systems, celebrity systems, political systems, wealth systems. And Rogan's discussions only amplified those conversations because he spoke about them in a way that felt less scripted and more raw than traditional media coverage. But maybe the biggest reason this story still grips people emotionally is because so many questions remain unanswered in the public mind. People feel like they still don't fully understand how everything was allowed to continue for so long. They want clarity, accountability, transparency, and many feel like they still haven't gotten it completely. That lingering uncertainty is exactly why this story continues dominating online conversations years later. Because deep down, people aren't just searching for celebrity gossip, they're searching for the truth.
And maybe that's the real reason Joe Rogan's commentary resonated so strongly with audiences during all of this. He wasn't just talking about celebrities, he was talking about power itself. About how influence changes the rules for certain people. About how money creates protection most ordinary individuals never experience. Whether people agree with Rogan or not, one thing is undeniable. His discussions forced millions of listeners to think differently about elite culture and the people operating inside it. But the most important thing to remember in all of this is the difference between documented facts and internet assumptions. That line matters more than ever now, because while Maxwell's conviction is real and her connections to elite circles are heavily documented, accusations without evidence can destroy lives too. That balance is difficult, emotional, messy, but necessary. Because when stories like this become driven entirely by viral outrage, the truth itself can get buried underneath the noise. And maybe that's the biggest lesson from this entire situation. The world of fame, influence, and celebrity power is far more interconnected than most people ever realized. But understanding that reality requires careful thinking, not blind assumptions. If more verified information ever comes out in the future, it will come through investigations, court documents, and confirmed reporting, not random viral theories spreading online overnight. Until then, people will keep debating, keep questioning, keep revisiting old photos and old connections, searching for answers that still feel incomplete. And honestly, that conversation probably isn't ending anytime soon. Because once the public starts questioning the people at the top, trust becomes very hard to rebuild. And in a story this massive, that loss of trust may end up becoming the biggest scandal of all. If you want more deep breakdowns into the biggest celebrity controversies, hidden Hollywood connections, and stories the media can't stop talking about, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned, because this conversation is far from over.